The Bhopal Gas Tragedy, one of the world's worst industrial disasters, occurred in the city of Bhopal, India, on the night of December 2nd to the 3rd, 1984. It was caused by a massive release of toxic gases from a pesticide plant owned by the Union Carbide India Limited, UCIL for short, a subsidiary of the American company Union Carbide Corporation. The tragedy had catastrophic effects on human lives, the environment, and subsequent legal and social consequences. The pesticide plant in Bhopal produced a variety of chemicals, including methyl isocyanate, also called MIC, a volatile and highly toxic compound used in the production of pesticides. The plant's safety standards were criticized for being inadequate, with reported maintenance issues and failures to address potential hazards. The gas leak occurred due to a combination of factors. Water entered a storage tank containing a large quantity of MIC, triggering a runaway reaction that resulted in a significant increase in temperature and pressure within the tank. The tank's safety systems, designed to neutralize such reactions, were malfunctioning or disabled. This resulted in the release of a cloud of toxic gas, including MIC, hydrogen cyanide, and other harmful chemicals into the surrounding atmosphere. The gas spread rapidly due to the plant's location near densely populated residential areas, so much so that hundreds of thousands of people were exposed to it. The gas leak had immediate and tragic consequences. Thousands of people, including men, women, and children, died within days of exposure to the toxic gases. The exact death toll remains controversial, with estimates from the Indian government claiming over 15,000 in years since, and campaigners stating the number goes as high as 25,000. Tens of thousands of survivors suffered injuries ranging from respiratory problems, blindness, burns, and other health issues due to exposure to the gas. The Bhopal gas tragedy had profound and lasting consequences for those affected. Many survivors continued to experience health problems, including chronic respiratory issues, neurological disorders, and reproductive problems. Birth defects and other health issues were reported in subsequent generations. The disaster also had significant environmental and social ramifications. The chemicals released during the gas leak contaminated soil, water, and air in the surrounding area, leading to long-term environmental damage. The disaster forced many families to relocate due to health risks and loss of homes, leading to social disruption and economic challenges. The aftermath of the disaster also saw legal battles, corporate accountability issues, and calls for justice. Union Carbide Corporation faced lawsuits in India and the United States. In 1989, a settlement was reached with the Indian government for $470 million, which many considered inadequate given the scale of the disaster and its consequences, including the government themselves, that asked for $3.3 billion on behalf of the survivors. An appeal was made in the Indian Supreme Court, where the decision of the $470 million settlement was still upheld, with an additional order for UCC to fund a hospital for the victims that would cost around $17 million. The responsibility for the disaster was a matter of contention, with questions about corporate negligence, inadequate safety measures, and the role of the Indian government in regulating the plant. Those who were held accountable, however, consisted of 7 former executives of UCIL. Each of them were sentenced to 2 years of imprisonment and fined 100,000 rupees, which is roughly equivalent to $2,800 in 2023. The Bhopal gas tragedy remains a haunting symbol of industrial negligence, the vulnerability of marginalized communities, and the catastrophic events of corporate irresponsibility. It led to increased awareness of the need for stringent safety regulations, corporate accountability, and disaster preparedness. Decades later, the Bhopal gas tragedy continues to impact the lives of survivors and their families, and like Rana Plaza, highlighted the potential consequences of prioritizing profits over people's safety and well-being.